Among coders, really? Alright, let's talk about Apple. Yes, Apple. The company that sells you shiny rectangles for the price of a gently used car. You probably picture their users, graphic designers in painfully hip glasses, sipping oat milk lattes in minimalist cafes, right? Well, plot twist. There's another group, a surprisingly large one, that swears by these expensive fruit-logoed machines. Programmers. Yes, the people who write the code that makes your phone buzz with notifications at 3 a.m. So why are so many of these highly logical, supposedly pragmatic individuals choosing the path paved with brushed aluminium and premium price tags? It's a genuine puzzle. We're going to explore why the people who build our digital world are so often choosing to do it on a Mac. Believe it or not, Apple wasn't always the go-to for the discerning developer. If you wind the clock back a few decades, the landscape looked very different. Apple computers were often seen as more suited for creative pursuits, education, or for people who liked a graphical user interface. Developers often gravitated towards other platforms. The turning point was Apple's acquisition of Next Inc. in 1997. And with Next came Steve Jobs, returning to Apple. Next brought its operating system, Next Step. Next Step was built on a robust UNIX-like foundation. Apple integrated this into macOS X, giving it a powerful, developer-friendly core. With this new UNIX-based OS, Apple began to court the developer community. Their Worldwide Developers Conference, WWDC, became a major industry event. They provided sophisticated development tools, like Project Builder and Interface Builder. They emphasized the stability, security, and power of the new operating system. The usability and design flair Apple was known for, now combined with serious capabilities. Apple's pivot towards embracing its UNIX roots and catering to developers was a masterstroke. One of the most pervasive mantras you'll hear associated with Apple products, and macOS in particular, is that it just works. But for developers, the allure of an operating system where software components play nicely together, where installations are smooth, and where you spend less time wrestling with your environment and more time actually coding, is incredibly powerful. A significant part of this appeal lies in the compatibility and availability of a wide range of essential development tools. Whether you're talking about integrated development environments, IDEs like IntelliJ IDEA or Visual Studio Code, versatile text editors such as Sublime Text or Atom, or the compilers and interpreters for languages like Python, Java, Ruby, or JavaScript, many of these critical tools either have excellent, well-maintained Mac versions or, in some cases, are even developed with a Mac-first approach. Furthermore, managing software on macOS is often a more streamlined experience compared to some alternatives. The Mac App Store provides a curated, if sometimes limited, selection of applications. But for the real power users, especially developers, tools like Homebrew have become indispensable. Homebrew acts as a package manager, making it astonishingly easy to install, update, and manage thousands of open-source software packages and command-line utilities with a few simple terminal commands. The overall software environment often feels more cohesive and polished, leading to a smoother workflow. When we talk about software for developers on macOS, we absolutely have to start with Xcode. If you're planning to build anything for Apple's ecosystem, an iPhone app, an iPad utility, a Mac application, or something for the Apple Watch, Xcode is not just an option, it's the command center. It's Apple's own integrated development environment, and it's packed with everything you need: code editors, debuggers, interface design tools, simulators, and performance analysis instruments. But the Mac's appeal to developers extends far beyond Apple's own walled garden. The platform boasts fantastic support for a vast array of popular third-party development tools. Microsoft's Visual Studio Code, arguably one of the most popular code editors on the planet, runs beautifully on macOS. The entire suite of powerful IDEs from JetBrains, including IntelliJ IDEA for Java, PyCharm for Python, WebStorm for JavaScript, and many others, are staples in many Mac-based development workflows, offering robust features and a consistent experience. And then there's the terminal. Thanks to its UNIX underpinnings, the command line interface on a Mac is not some neglected, clunky add-on. Section 5. That sleek aluminium brick, the Mac Hardware Mystique. Alright, let's talk about the physical object itself. The machine. The expensive, shiny, often aluminium thing that sits on your desk or lap. Apple's hardware, MacBooks, iMacs, Mac Minis, has a certain reputation. They look good, there's no denying it. That unibody construction, the minimalist aesthetic, the satisfying heft. One of the most consistently praised aspects of Mac hardware is its build quality. These devices are generally engineered to be robust and durable. There's less flex in the chassis, the hinges feel solid, and they often withstand the rigors of daily use better than many competitors. Then there are the displays. Apple's Retina displays have set a high bar for screen quality on laptops and desktops. Section 6. Pretty and pricey. Does Mac design actually help developers? So, we've established that Macs are generally well-built, look rather fetching, and have screens that won't make your eyeballs want to file for divorce. But the crucial question, especially when you're shelling out a significant amount of cash, is whether this design philosophy and premium feel actually translate into a better, more productive coding experience. Apple's long-standing focus on user experience, UX, isn't just limited to its software. It extends deeply into its hardware design, and many of these considerations can indeed benefit developers. Take keyboard quality, for instance. While Apple famously stumbled with its butterfly keyboard mechanism for a few years, they've largely returned to form with more reliable and comfortable scissor-switch keyboards. A cornerstone of Apple's entire philosophy is the tight integration between its hardware and software. Section 7. The not-so-secret ingredient. UNIX, baby, alright. Brace yourselves, because we're about to delve into the part of macOS that gets the real tech aficionados either nodding sagely or preparing for a spirited debate over their preferred shell environment. Underneath that sleek, user-friendly Aqua interface, the one with the bouncing dock icons and the smooth animations, lies a powerful secret. Well, it's not secret if you've been paying attention. macOS is a Unix-based operating system. To be precise, it is a fully certified UNIX 03 compliance system built upon Darwin, an open-source core that incorporates code from NextStep, FreeBSD, the Mac microkernel, and other robust, time-tested technologies. This Unix foundation is precisely why macOS comes equipped with such a potent command line interface, CLI, right out of the box. The application's simply called Terminal. Fire it up, and you're greeted by a shell, typically Zish by default these days, though Bash is still there for the traditionalists. All your favorite Unix commands, utilities, and scripting capabilities are at your fingertips. Section 8 Unix power more than just a cool name, so we've established that macOS has this robust Unix core. Fantastic. But what does that translate to in terms of actual tangible benefits for a programmer hunched over their keyboard at 2 a.m., fueled by coffee and desperation? It means, first and foremost, direct access to an enormous, well-established ecosystem of open-source tools and utilities that were fundamentally designed for and thrive in a Unix-like environment. We're talking about command-line powerhouses like for searching text and for text manipulation, for transferring data, for locating files, and literally thousands more. Beyond the specific tools, the Unix philosophy itself encourages a more transparent and scriptable system. Developers on macOS can write shell scripts to automate almost any repetitive task, from compiling code and running tests to managing files and deploying applications. This ability to customize and automate your environment to a very fine degree is something many programmers value immensely. Section 9. The verdict: why coders keep clicking buy on Macs. So, after this whirlwind tour through history, hardware, software, and the very soul of Unix, we arrive back at our original question: why do so many programmers, these ostensibly rational beings, continue to choose macOS? Is it all just clever marketing, a triumph of branding over Babbage? Are they simply mesmerized by the siren song of, "It just works," even when it occasionally, doesn't? Or is there something more substantial, something that genuinely makes their complex lives a little bit easier? The evidence suggests it's a rather potent combination of factors. A massive piece of the puzzle is undoubtedly that robust and reliable Unix foundation. This provides a powerful, flexible, and familiar command line environment that is incredibly developer-friendly. For programmers working on web technologies, back-end systems, mobile apps that interact with servers, or anything that will eventually touch a Linux server, which is, let's be frank, a huge chunk of modern software, this is a killer feature. The similarity in tooling and environment between their local development machine and their deployment targets simplifies workflows, reduces it works on my machine headaches, and generally makes for a more efficient process. Ultimately, for a significant portion of the programming community, macOS manages to strike a compelling balance.